and share it with your friends. Okay. And we are now live on YouTube. What is up, everyone? It is January 1st, 2024, and it is time for another edition of our stay at home open mic, aka the online open mic, aka the late mic. Either way, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. This is an online mic like many others. If you want to perform like any other open mic, all you have to do is sign up. We will have a link to sign up in the description under the video. But it is a pretty full list today. We may have a little bit of room towards the end, but for now, it's if you want to join, just stick around for a little bit. Otherwise, if you are tuning in, just first of all, hello, welcome, great to have you here. Let us know that you're here. We do have a live chat going on, so go ahead and we encourage you to be part of the live audience. Type in the chat, say hello, let us know where you're listening in from. We have people joining us from El Paso area and all over the world, as always. So we're super excited about that. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host tonight. I am the project director of the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. And as I mentioned, we are located in El Paso, Texas. We're live and alive in the 915 EP, Chuco Town. And, because we are doing this online via Zoom and live on our YouTube channel, we do have the luxury of tuning in with people from all over the country. And sometimes it does get international, which is super fun. We have a couple of our Canadian friends here back again. But I'm really looking forward to it. So happy New Year, everyone. 2024, this time of year, there's always a lot of time for reflection and resolutions. So if that is reflected in your work, that's by all means welcome. We don't do any themes or anything like that. So it's free to go. So people are welcome to share their original work, whether it be writing or music. But we also do something called the cover poem. You're right. If musicians can do it, so can poets. That's what Kit says. I'm always going to give Kit credit for that. But some people don't understand that quite well, but it's a really nice way to share work from people that inspire you, people that you look up to, or so just the work that hits you in a certain way. It's a really great way to discover new authors personally for me. Other than that, yes, just be with us in the chat. We are, as I mentioned, located in El Paso, Texas. In addition to our online mics, we do have open mics in person at venues all throughout the city. So this week we are going to be downtown at Rosewood Bar. We're usually there in that area every Tuesday. This month there is going to be one Tuesday that we will be off. So I don't think we'll just stay tuned. If you want to be kept up with all the shows, you can follow us on social media. You can just type in Barbed Wire Open Mic or El Paso BWOMS. And this is a platform. So everyone who reads today, I definitely encourage you guys to share your links, anything you want to share. If you have any featured readings, if you have any books out and how people can purchase them. And of course, your social media. So if you have Instagram, YouTube, anything that you use to promote your content, definitely share that with our audience. Any links I'll transfer or share to our YouTube page as well. But yeah, I'm excited. This is our first open mic, online mic, and first open mic in general of 2024. And to wax and wane nostalgic just a little bit, we've been doing this every single Monday since 2020, and that's pretty impressive because it's just some work involved. Sometimes it's a little tiring, and thankfully because of help with like Kit and other people who've stepped up and co-hosted and helped with tech, and just all of you guys who return kind of week in and week out, all the new people that join us every now and then. And we're here because of you guys. And then we realized this started because of the pandemic, but we realized it's important to have spaces like these online for anyone, especially for people who maybe just don't go out a lot of the time, for people who maybe don't have access to transportation or can't drive at night or just have limited resources for that. This is a space for you guys, for everyone. So I wanted to be a welcoming space. Other than that, it is free speech zone. As long as it isn't hate speech, that gets cut out here pretty quickly. But other than that, we look forward to all of your work. As far as performers go, each performer gets about 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing. We are a little bit more lax on that, so don't take it too far. But other than that, just be up with us. We're gonna go ahead and continue because I see there's more people that are wanting to tune in and or people that want to join us. So that's pretty cool. I just saw Alonso join in, so I'll be updating the list. Oh, Tanish just signed up as well. Okay, wow. All right, busy list. All right, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna kick things off, as we've done many times, with a poet here in El Paso who has received much street cred in the literary world, and she's earned it in many ways. She just recently released her third collection of poems, Ridge of High Pressure, from Mouthfeel Press, and has been reading already from a new manuscript. She's been published in the Paris Review and all sorts of great publications. So like I said, literary street cred, that's for sure. She's also known as the poet laureate of Tumblewords. Let's go ahead and kick things off. What a great way to start it off, with Robin Schofield. Hey, Robin.
Hey,
Happy New
Richie. Hey,
Year.
everybody. Happy Monday. Happy New Year. It's great to start it out with poetry. And like Richie was saying, I have a new book. It's called Ridge of High Pressure. And it is a lot about the weather, as the title indicates. But it's also it's a lot about El Paso and the border. And uh, it's got, of course, this is my dog that I was walking all through these poems. And anyway, I'm going to read some from it. A lot of these poems, I believe, I wrote in Tumblewords, which is a generative writing workshop, and I'll tell you more about afterwards. The border as open wound. You feel otherness wherever you go. You can ask the alienist your questions, but identity is never an easy matter. You can drop a rock in a pond and watch the circles drift apart. Skipping the rock takes some wrist work. Keeping the rock and polishing it, that's another matter, but lots of work, but worth it. You were born an other, a changeling in your birth family, standing apart. Je est un autre, Rimbaud wrote. The I is an other, just as it is for you, a worldly situation. A swan walking is a clumsy animal. You are of two worlds, like the water bird, therefore of none. You can claim neither sky nor lake. And there you are, walking where the river is dry. Yeah, it's a fine time to go to the hot springs when it's cold. You get in the hot springs in New Mexico. And one pretty near here is Faywood Hot Springs, which is really near a place called the City of Rocks at Faywood Hot Springs, New Mexico. His skin shone white as adamantine rock that night under the meteors, loaded with minerals and metaphor. His hair the color of the gypsum sea, east of here near the rocket range. I craned my neck in my own alabaster skin, separate but joined by the hot springs, shadowed heads above water, bodies transmuted by refraction into the lightness of our youth, erosion-free and buoyant in the thermal waters among the revolution of ancient rocks that fall and fall in the near perfect cobalt sky. They never thud to earth, born again of fire, while we are in pools that capture the 1 second flash, one brief life after another as we go on, singing old songs, warmed by the steam that boils beneath the thin, jagged crust. And then I want to read one more for Epiphany, which comes up the 12th day of Christmas is actually January 6th. And I am sometimes in Mexico, and I will be in Mexico in a few days. So, Epiphany, San Miguel de Allende. We missed the parade, the three kings riding in on horseback, but not the polite or sated children in a line that bent around El Jardín, muffled in pink puffy coats, blue hats, yellow scarves, and fleecy tights. They huddled against their exhausted parents who wore that look of tight-lipped, thinned patience that comes with the holidays. This morning, the children received their presents, presented in their shoes, and brought by the three kings, for this is the 12th day of Christmas. The brass band walks away, their instruments dented and unpolished, the silver tuba almost gray, the only dull spot in the crowd. The three kings sit by the parroquia while the mayor jokes at the microphone. These pobrecitos y sus padres want the photos to begin. Each child will sit in the lap of a king and say, "Thank you for the gifts. Gracias por los regalos." And the kings will say, "Child, you are a miracle. Niño, eres milagro." Okay, so that's Ridge of High Pressure. It's published by Mouthfeel Press. The best way to get it is to hit me up for it, or to order it from Mouthfeel Press. Also available on Bookshop and other places like that. And then I'm just going to read, I think I'll just read my cover poem. It's a New Year's poem by W.S. Merwin. It's from his book, published 18 years ago, called Present Company. It's called To the New Year. With what stillness at last you appear in the valley, your first sunlight reaching down to touch the tips of a few high leaves that do not stir, as though they had not noticed and did not know you at all. Then the voice of a dove calls from far away in itself to the hush of the morning. So this is the sound of you, here and now, whether or not anyone hears it. This is where we have come with our age, our knowledge such as it is, and our hopes such as they are, invisible before us, untouched and still possible. Yeah, W.S. Merwin. I'm glad I went first and got to do that one. I'm sure it's going to be a popular choice for a cover poem. And I always go to Tumble Words. It's on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're on Facebook, hit up Kit Wren for the link. And what else was I gonna say? It's a great way to write. You have to work on it later, of course, but it's a great way to write. Oh yeah, I'm doing one in late January. That's what I was going to say. I'm doing one on the desert music in late January. Okay, back to you, Richie.
All right, very awesome. And as Kit often likes to say, that's right. January looks like a really great month for Tumble Words. For all you writers that are here with us that are new to the scene or just tuning in, if you're watching, and just want to work on your craft a little bit, Tumble Words is a really great workshop. It's a generative workshop. So you write and you share what you wrote. Can't get any more simple than that, right? And it's a lot of great guest presenters each week, and definitely look forward to more of that, 2024 in Tumble Words. Thanks for kicking things off, Robin, as always. As we like to say, with the drip, always, even for the online readings, you're always so stylish. That's just starting to become a meme now. Because Fernando always mentions it too in the live mics. All right, so now because of the magic of Zoom, we get to transport ourselves from El Paso all the way to Pittsburgh. Well, we have another dynamo of performer. They always come through with amazing sets. And I always look forward to it. And of course, got the new kitty in the background, that new kitty drip. Let's go ahead and welcome Vale Larkin back to the show. Happy New Year. Hey.
Hey, Happy New Year. How are you doing?
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. It's funny, I'm a little tired today, and I picked probably just the stupidest poem to read for someone who's a little tired, but we'll see how this goes. It's one I've read here once before. Climate Anguish Group, a poetic microplay. A white woman stands at a chair in a circle of chairs. Only a few are filled. She says, "Friends, for today's meeting, held in this, the year of Our Lady 4.45 billion, we will center ourselves in the knowledge that we are inevitably and completely responsible for how we are all going to die. Give space for this guilt. Let our shame become feeling for all the creatures who, facing their end, must toil without the respite of guides or amethyst crystals and pure guided prayer. Center your feelings." Now, Adam, I believe you have something to share. Adam stands. "Once upon a time," he says, "when the world was young and gods were rocks and whirlwinds, I came upon an oasis in the desert. Idyllic, it rose from sear sand like a promise, and all around could see how green and verdant all its hills were. I, foolish man, found more pleasure in the having than the using, the seeing than the tasting, and my spear was bright and tall." Adam sits. Let us all thank Adam for his brave confession. Who among us has not hoarded gold or food or struck out against the insects seeking crumbs and skin flakes when they crawled our desert floors? Let us center ourselves in Adam. Oshun stands. Hear us, hear us. We cry from the depths, we cry foul treason of the landbound, shoveling your spoor into our seas. We scream from the shoreline, hurl ourselves desperate onto your beach, and sob our last breaths in the hopes you will hear. Thank you, Oshun, for Oshun still stands. I am not finished. We are nearly finished. We are nearly gone. I am nearly barren. I am not finished, but when I am, my end will follow yours. Oshun sits. As I was saying, the white woman cuts back in. Let us thank Oshun for her brave speech and center her rage in our hearts for a moment. Everyone take a deep breath. Now let it out. We are seeking sunflowers. We release darkness. Oshun rolls her eyes. Prometheus stands. Sir, if you wouldn't mind, your entrails just there, right next to your seat. Please just put them away for the continued comfort of the group. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. And now you were saying? Prometheus finishes shoving some offal under his chair with his foot. You had a purpose, he hisses. You trumped up monkeys, you ornamented dirt. The white woman holds her microphone up to Prometheus's rictus of pain and smiles at him encouragingly. He looks at her as though she is mad. You clay golem creatures with your magical thinking and pointless narrow vision. You were meant to be saviors and guardians, fools. So clever you could see beyond survival. So strong and bright you could stand stalwart against horrors our planet had known and wished to be rid of with you as her champions. Now look at you. Fire bakes, tempers, cooks, seals, sterilizes, warms, protects, and destroys. We never should have given it to things that couldn't keep more than one thought in their heads at a time. Prometheus collapses back into his seat and slumps there. The white woman looks nonplussed. She clears her throat. She straightens her name pin. Yes, thank you, Prometheus. Thank you. Very sincere. Stirring, even. Thank you. Danon remains seated. Mother, mother, burning bright in the butchery of night, bring me light to find my way past children playing with their prey. Excuse me? The white woman's voice is querulous and craven in the earthlight. Danon remains seated. Do you remember it? The song we once sang together. Do you remember the perfection of our pure rhythms, and the voices like alabaster amphora pouring, and the voices like clay jars, and the melded, amalgamated magic of a vast being in holy concert with herself? Will this next storm remind you? Will the next? You make earthquakes now, you know. The white woman finally sits down, almost silently. Ocean rolls her eyes. Danon remains seated. I dreamed we were all on fire, my children and I. I dreamed we were fire and fury and the frustration of a million years of sweet reaching. Will the next fire remind you? Here it is. And still you turn inward. Will the next fire remind you? Here it is. Will the next? Here it is. Here it is. Everyone. All five sit in the circle, most seats empty, and their eyes are wide, and they are frozen.
All right. Thank you, Vale. And any things that you'd like to promote right now?
There's a link up I'm putting up there's links to my YouTube and stuff. And there's a link up to buy the special edition of 1000 Fingers Multiplying, which was a book, an anthology put together to benefit Norm Maddox, who is a poetry community elder and legend. And we are selling those to benefit Norm. And you can also buy the mass market paperback or the ebook on Amazon. And there's a link for that as well. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Awesome. Thank you for that. I see the links and I will slowly be adding those to our YouTube chat. By the way, I want to give a shout out to everyone who is tuning in so far. And in the chat, Tony G, Sandy Lance, and Ron Mark Thompson. Good to see you guys here and participating as always. It's good to know you guys are here tuning in live. Of course, I know people in the past, if they can't tune in live, listen to it later in the week, kind of like a podcast, and that's definitely an option. Yeah, so even if that's you and you're listening to this later in the week, drop a comment. You know, if there's a line that you really love in any of these pieces, let them know. And you can find links to everyone who's performing in the live chat. So any of Vale's links, how to get that book there, how to order it. Very cool stuff. Yes. And I love that piece, Vale. So, and I know there's a lot of acting and character changes involved, but you got it through. Yeah, you got it. All right, we're gonna keep going. In fact, we're gonna head a little bit more east and tune in, as I like to say, with our main man in Maine. This time in his bio, he said he was born with 3 eyes. So I imagine that's the third one. So we'll see what kind of wisdom that grants him. I've always been such a huge fan of his titles, but also, of course, his work. Let's go ahead and tune in with Brian, aka Generalissimo. That's right. Let's get you on here. Where are you? Hey, welcome back, man. Happy New Year. Going to take it away when you are ready.
My word of wisdom was that was amazing, Vale. And since I saw your that first play that you did, I really want to see a play based on that poem. I think that would be fantastic. Or whatever it could be, like a one-act reading or something like that. It's such a cool piece you just did. So I'm gonna do this piece. First piece I just found out was accepted by Finn Hall's into Finn Hall's Poems for the End of Times anthology, and it's called And I Lived Ever After. Once upon a time, I was a child filled with wonderment and curiosity. I was a child who colored outside the lines not because he could, but because it was hard to stay inside the lines. It was not seen as adventurous or abstract, but wrong. Once upon a time, I was an awkward teenager stuck inside a fragile shell. It was at times totally transparent and at times opaque, in an opaque, blurry mess. I tap it from the inside, hoping to break free of shyness and bullying. Sometimes a piece would chip off, allowing me to breathe fresh, new air. It also sometimes repaired itself as I slept, so I learned the shell's structural misgivings. Then one day it broke apart into several large fragments that fell onto the space that surrounded my life. I carefully stepped over the broken glass jagged edge of what was left of the shell. Once upon a time, I was an ambitious kid in his 20s. By all accounts of everyone else, my future was bright. I actually had a plan that made sense. My smile was my calling card. My attitude was mentally positive. Once upon a time, I was almost 29. I could feel my future calling me. I answered the phone every time. Then one day I woke up crying. I woke up crying for no reason at all. My future was nowhere to be found inside my mind. The crying was as jagged as the edge of the shell I had escaped from. My psyche was walking on its tiptoes, trying to avoid all the broken glass from the shell it thought it had left behind. I had to navigate Titanic around iceberg tears, but my tears melted into enough saline to sink my existence into oblivion. Luckily, I wore a life jacket, which allowed me to float through the debris of every shipwreck I never knew I caused. I passed out and woke atop Ararat. I climbed down the mount. All the tears had resurfaced my soul like a Susan Lucci infomercial chemical peel. When I found a mirror, I looked myself in the eyes and woke up. And this is my latest poem, which is tentatively titled Why the Clash Will Always Be Sociologically Relevant. This poem was born of afterbirth from a dream, a Lazarus pit, which was once a pearlescent ocean of human being fear. People who look in mirrors with eyes wide open, while pretending to be blind, while witnessing everything they never wanted to see about themselves. They lie about the colors of their irises as if flowers can choose what colors their petals will display. Before the days of dating apps, when people had to describe who they were as if life was a poem and a personal ad wedged between help wanted and real estate listings. Newsprint paper printed with ink that smelled of burning paraffin wafting into olfactory senses with verbal pheromones like, I like long walks on the beach, the premise of many early rom-coms. Before the days of keyboards and laptops, people would construct these messages with pen and paper, often editing and re-editing like a poet submitting the same poem to multiple journals, getting rejected and rejected and rejected. This was before people walked into businesses and strip malls to make videos in front of fake backgrounds, to verbalize what they might write in a personal ad with faces and new clothes from arrayed on a TJ Maxx front and center. The scripts for such screenplays should be rife with what they feel they can get away with saying, which would likely be a fantasy versions of their existences for audiences of strangers who wrote and performed their own Oscar-worthy scripts, hoping for an afternoon at a coffee, which might lead to dinner at a bistro, which might lead to how about a nightcap, or your place or mine, or oops, it's the morning after, or should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble, and if I stay, it will be double. Lies are sleep wiped from eyes and hastily made decisions, and tears rolling down cheeks, dripping into bathroom sinks before a single tooth is brushed. The rush of water exiting the faucet sounds like a waterfall crashing upon a psyche. This puree of crime swirls down the drain through the water system, spilling into a Lazarus pit of everything, anything, and nothing, while the perp stands at the edge, deciding to dip a toe into something that might help to achieve something that might resemble immortality. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Brian, for sharing those pieces. And my only regret, YouTube can't see your cool little figure there on the photo, but the name just shows up. But is there anything you'd like to promote really quick before we
Nope,
move on?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right, great to have you here as always. Thank you for tuning in with us. Let me get back on here. Awesome, cool. Hey, we got a lot of people tuning in live with us. Welcome to the online open mic. We do this every Monday. The list is looking pretty full right now, but hey, we do this every Monday. So if you're just checking it out right now and testing out the water, first of all, I'd like to think that the water is fine. But if you want to sign up with us in the future, one of the best things you can do is follow us on social media. And oh, that's our next performer clearing his throat, for the performance. But yes, if you want to join us, we do have a link tree available on our Instagram, our YouTube. Like you can find it, and if you subscribe to the link tree, that's where we post up the link. And then on Facebook, we make event pages and all that. So hey, we're gonna keep going. And like I said, because even though we're based out of El Paso, Texas, we have people joining us from all over. In fact, now is the time to tune in with the poet laureate of South Euclid, Ohio. We have Mr. Doc Jennings. Hey, Doc. Good to see you. Happy New Year. And go ahead and do your thing.
Happy New Year to all. And my voice sounds a little rough because I'm dealing with an upper respiratory infection. So please excuse me. Transcendent. Intimacy. Intimacy is a state of being, a state which transcends. It transcends the physical as serendipitous. It transcends the deepest truths of your naked self. It expresses in its deepest sense, Hineni. It is a sharing, a Kundan and Tonglan of Kuch. It is a sharing of souls, of selves in the safety of each other. It becomes a masterpiece woven of the magic, music, and poetry of being. A masterpiece of existence, a tapestry woven of vulnerabilities and bared hearts. It is an unveiling of past pain and of barriers to be breached together. It is a bearing more of the self than of the skin. It is a willing nakedness which creates and enhances intimacy, the intimacy called love. Waiting. Moon sings its light across silent silver mangata, shimmering pathway of delight, igniting dreams of the dreamer. Star-filled sky wheels across Mazarin midnight, a tapestry of time, a bejeweled baldaquin. Dreams coalesce, draw meaning from memory, and night flows past, a gentle torrent. All becomes music in echoes of remembered song, held within your heart, intangible as a moonbeam, and a glimmer, a micro moment of happiness and joy gleams in surreal beauty, a dream of a future waiting to be found. Contemplation. Patterns of life and time begin in a chiaroscuro of forever, in timeless tomorrows beyond tomorrow, swirling, weaving into infinite tapestries of love and stars, a panorama of you of us in all the colors, music, magic, and poetry of the multiverse. A contemplation of what is and what could be in all the dreams, in all the dimensions of a surreal future and the inscapes of eternity. And I'm going to finish with a cover. It is from Charles Baudelaire's Fleurs de Mal, and it is titled The Living Torch. They stand before me now, those eyes that shine, no doubt inspired by an angel wise. They stand, those godlike brothers that are mine, and pour their diamond fires in mine eyes. From all transgressions, from all snares they save. Towards the path of joy they guide my ways. They are my servants, and I am their slave. And all my soul this living torch obeys. Ye charming eyes, ye have those mystic beams of candles burning in full day. The sun awakes, yet kills not their fantastic gleams. Ye sing the awakening, they the dark oblivion. The awakening of my spirit ye proclaim. O stars, no sun can ever kill your flame. And for those who don't know, especially the newbies, I have a book which just came out about a little over a month ago. Before today, Beyond Tomorrow. It is available through especially through your local bookstores. I'm giving you the ISBN for it. Oh boy. And also available online at all the usual culprits. In addition, I will be a featured reader for Dane Ince's Time to Arrive tomorrow evening. And then next week, I have 2 in-person readings at local bookstores here in Cleveland. And later this month, my city is throwing me a book launch at our community center. So I'm going to be busy as heck. And I have to get well and get rid of whatever this crud is, but it's not COVID. I know that. I've tested. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Doc. And yeah, I was gonna say that. First of all, you gotta get better. So feel better. And once you do, definitely a deep voice thing is working. All right. I know it's the sickness right now, but you came with like a lower decibel and then there was something that hit with the words. All right. So that is, of course, Doc Jennings. Check out his book. And we're gonna go ahead and keep going. In fact, we're gonna move a little back to a more familiar time zone for us. But our friend is joining us in Denver. In fact, when we started this show, something fell off because he wasn't here yet and hadn't signed up. But of course, he's here. All's right in the world. As I mentioned before, our very own Lighthouse. I was a little lost there at the beginning, but let's go ahead and make some noise. And welcome back, Mike Sindler. What is up, man? Happy New Year.
Hey, yeah, all good. I just want to say, Doc, even when you're down, you still bring everybody up. That was really beautiful, and I do hope that you feel better soon and are able to really enjoy all those things you're going to be doing. So looking forward to it myself. I am going to do my normal call out to lighthouseriders.org, which is a wonderful organization. You should just check out the page for and see all the wonderful workshops and classes and events and things that they got going on, because there's something for everybody there. I highly recommend. I am going to start with a poem that I wrote for Donna Snyder, because I feel going into this new year, Donna just did so much for so many of us here. And I just really want to keep her memory going. So there is what ends and what does not end. No dividing line between the two makes mirror twins of time and timeless. What is, what was, and what will be, all states flow and blend in harmony. Love layers deep, successive cushions over seed pod of pain. All lingers, all grows, all fades into eternity. Form and substance rearrange, flit from matter to mass to being to ineffable. Air thickens into water, water rolls over hardened sentient heart. Art ties souls together and never dies. Yeah, I just wanted to really do that because she was an incredible person, and I hope she is remembered for many, many years to come. And my next one is called Let the Future Be Forgiveness. Let the future be forgiveness. Forgive yourself first. Pain held in over past transgressions, bad decisions, or unmet expectations. Weak battery cannot empower dynamo of interconnected souls. Forgive all that can be forgiven. Hold mirror of humility to hurt. Gaze deep to see source from which wrong thinking originates. Do not be another plank on bridge that heavy-heeled hatred trods across. Remember, it is not only in myth that demons can be tamed or turned. Use tenderness as bait to lead beasts safely into cages. Ensnare, but do not be ensnared by sour energy. Cultivate and share sweet fruit. Let all absorb frangible essence, distilled nectar of sacred forgiveness, blessed with kiss. Let forgiveness be what is. Ask and expect no more. Let the future be forgiveness. And I'm going to do one more of mine. And it's another really sort of New Year's piece called New White Hair. Let each new white hair brushed in mourning before the mirror be a thin messenger of acceptance. A pure thread stitching past to future, minute journey from scalp to skull, letting go of gravity, release and surrender, follow the fall. Do not hesitate to trim frayed ends. Let that worn fringe of old struggles, splintered growth drift with each snip. Toss sweepings away without regret, knowing continuing strands will flourish stronger in their absence. Gaze straight ahead. See your frame face for what it is. Wrinkled folds, rounded slopes with frosted hedge, as a Zen garden of flesh. Resting still in spirit as seasons change. Then laugh loud and turn to face the day. I'm going to go ahead and put the hat on and do a couple that are not Merwin, because we had that. And oh yeah, I accidentally do have, I do have that up. So let me get this one. It's Burning the Old Year by Naomi Shihab. Letters swallow themselves in seconds. Notes, friends tied to the doorknob, transparent scarlet paper, sizzle like moth wings, marry the air. So much of any year is flammable. Lists of vegetables, partial poems, orange swirling flame of days. so little is the stone. Where there was something and suddenly isn't, and absence shouts, celebrates, leaves the space. I begin again with the smallest numbers, quick dance, shuffle of losses and leaves. Only the things I didn't do crackle after the blazing dies. And gonna see if I can find this other one I wanted to do. And it's by Richard Wilbur, who is, I think, a really fine poet who I don't hear people speak of him very often as much as I would like it, but maybe I'm just not hearing it. But Year's End by Richard Wilbur. Now winter downs the dying of the year, and night is all a settlement of snow. From the soft street, the rooms of houses show a gathered light, a shapen atmosphere, like frozen over lakes whose ice is thin and still allows some stirring down within. I've known the wind by water banks to shake the late leaves down, which frozen where they fell and held in ice as dangers and a spell fluttered all winter long into a lake, graved on the dark in gestures of descent. They seemed their most perfect monument. There was a perfection in the death of ferns, which laid their fragile cheeks against the stone. A million years, great mammoths overthrown, composedly have made their long sojourns like palaces of patience in the gray and changeless lands of ice. And at Pompeii, the little dog lay curled and did not rise, but slept the deeper as the ashes rose, and found the people incomplete and froze the random hands, the loose, unready eyes of men expecting yet another son to do the shapely things they had not done. These sudden ends of time must give us pause. We fray into the future, rarely wrought save in the tapestries of afterthought. More time, barrages of applause come muffled from a buried radio. The New Year bells are wrangling with the snow. Okay, thank you all very much. I hope everybody has an incredible 2024. And, let's just all hope that things continue to get better. And thank you, Richie, for starting another year of BWOMS. We all look forward to being here every week.
All right. Appreciate that, Michael. Thanks for reading. And if you guys didn't catch on to a pattern in the last couple of readers, we do have a thing called the cover poem. And part of that tradition involves maybe throwing a little lid on your hat, some sort of hat of some kind. Something that is also a tribute, I think, to Kit with his rocking his hat all the time. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. This is our online mic. Oh, Julian Matthews in the house. Yeah, I just saw you sign up. Cool. So I'll be updating the list. Welcome everyone. So we're going to go ahead and continue. In fact, we're going to come back to El Paso for our next performer. He got to perform on Friday, I believe. It was a rare instance where I didn't host or MC or do sound or anything. I had to step away for another engagement, but it looked like a really fun show. One of the beautiful things is I have like people helping out now. So Kit was the host and Fernando was there as well, taking photos and running sound. So but our next performer always tunes in and supports. In fact, he's always leaving comments on the live streams or the replay, even if he can't sign up to perform himself. Now he has a really cool thing that he is starting up. It's my understanding is it is going to be a series, and the first one kicks off this month. It's called The Art of Storytelling, but I'll let him tell you more about that before or after his set. But without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Julian Morales. What's up, Julian? Welcome back to the show. Good to have you here, man.
Hey, Richie, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great new year. Um, I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, so I got to perform Friday. I was so sad you weren't there because I did a rewrite that I've been working on all year. So all the poems that I started January there at Capri, I redid them. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. Um, you all have heard one of those on here. And I wrote it, and it sounded really like rhymey to me. And then I was telling Kit the other day, I'm an audio learner, obviously, since I can't see that well. So I listen to you all every Monday, and I think this is a piece of a little bit of all the regulars that are on here. So I listen to all of you guys, what you share, your cover poems and your own stuff. So I hope you guys don't get upset with my style is a little bit of each and every one of you all that share on here on Monday nights. Privilege, a whisper, a shout, an unspoken word, lingering in the spaces between us. Who holds it? Who yearns for it? In the act of living, breathing, being, how privileged we stand. Yet in our abundance, we choose the shadows over the light, the dissonance over harmony, seeing ugliness where beauty abounds, a privilege squandered, a vision narrowed. I speak not just of you or me or them, but of us, a collective dance with fate, feeling, smelling, hearing, existing. How lavishly we waste what's given, blind to the splendors we're graced with. If I could wish, oh, but just one wish, to regain the sight, the insight lost, to see once more with eyes unclouded, not in the way privilege colors the world, but in the true hues of existence. Haunted by the privilege lost, beaten by the waves of regret and guilt, drowning in the sea of what was, my thoughts a turbulent storm of if-onlys, a glimpse of the past so distorted and so distant. Yet in this deprivation, I feel the gentlest breeze, the softest snowflake, the warmth of hellos from faces unseen. Do they smile back at me, I wonder, as I greet the world with the privilege of speech, to love others, to hate, and to forgive, especially to forgive oneself for the privilege squandered in ignorance, lost in a cell of self, in a maze of time, searching, yet finding not the peace sought. Eyes anew I shall never find, but in this state, a realization dawns. The privilege of life, so precious, so fleeting, it's mine, it's yours, it's ours to hold. A privilege not just to exist, but to truly live. This next piece is new. I shared it on Friday, but I had just written it. In the echoing silence under neon skies stands a man, his voice an outcry, a soul that defies. He screams to the heavens, to the indifferent ground. Where has all the passion gone? A thunderous sound. Once, life was a fire, a fervent blaze. Now it's just embers, lost in a haze. The passion to live, to breathe in each day, seems like a ghost fading away. Love, where did you wander? Where did you roam? You used to live here, in every heart, in every home. Now it's just whispers, echoes in a void. The warmth of affection seemingly destroyed. Kindness, oh kindness, a forgotten art, once flowed like a river from heart to heart. Now it's a trickle, a rare elusive sight in a world that's grown cold, devoid of all light. Poets, dreamers, where did you go? Your verses were rivers, now they barely flow. Your words, once a temper, now a faint breeze, lost in the noise, like forgotten melodies. From his soul, the man's plea, raw and real, a challenge to the world to once again feel. Where has all the passion gone? He demands to know, a call to revive, to let those embers glow. His voice, a beacon in the dark of the night, urging us to find our lost sight. Passion, the heartbeat, the rhythm of life, the antidote to apathy, to existential strife. And in his outcry, a hope, a potential rebirth, to awaken the passion, to rediscover its worth. Where has all the passion gone? Not just a query, but a rallying cry for those who are weary. So let's find it together. Let's reignite the spark in every action, in every heart. For without passion, what are we but empty shells? Let's find it. Let's live it. Only time can tell. Thank you.
Julian, thank you for sharing those pieces. I'm glad that you revisited them. But really quick, can I tell people where they can follow and support your work online and about your event as well?
Oh, yeah. So January 27th at 6:30 p.m., we will be hosting our first of our series that's called the El Paso Art of Storytelling. So we'll have a live art exhibition on stage going for an hour while we have a poet open for the evening. And then I'll have somebody come in and do the art of storytelling, share their story with a bit of wisdom. What I'm asking the writers basically is, if this was the last chance that you had to speak to a crowd of people and you wanted to leave the world with a gem of a piece of wisdom, the best knowledge that you've learned while you've been here, that's what I want on that stage. I want people to walk out of there feeling something: anger, happiness, love, sympathy, kindness, an action to want to go do something. That's basically why I'm putting it together. And we're helping the El Paso Playhouse. Every dollar raised will stay there to help the El Paso Playhouse open its doors every season that they have a play. So and they've opened their doors to us. I'm very grateful to that. If you guys are interested in participating, you can find me on Instagram at the El Paso Art of Storytelling. And then my other channel where I show my poetry and stuff is Going Blind, Enjoying Life. Just share my story about losing my eyesight and going through that whole process and all that good stuff. Thank you, Richie, once again, and for hosting everything you do, man. I look up to you. I want to be like you when I grow up. And thank you so much.
Julian, thank you so much. The art of El Paso Art of Storytelling, check it out on January 27th. BWOMS definitely supports and promotes. We'll definitely share any flyers that you like as well. We support all that. And the El Paso Playhouse, they're a classical institution that we want to support. Yeah, all right, cool. Thanks, guys. And if you're in El Paso area, definitely check it out. And as you mentioned, it's going to be a series. So, if you can't make that one, there'll be others, and maybe you can even be involved at some point. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and continue because we have one of the most full lists we've had in a while, and I love it. So we're going to go ahead and head off to the West Coast, the San Francisco Bay Area, where we have one of our pillars. I've in the past I've compared this whole space like a spider web, because there are a lot of online spaces and we're all connected, in certain ways, but there's some threads that are stronger than others. And someone who's just like done such a great job of like introducing people to us and us to other people in these online spaces because of the work she does. I just got to give her props or flowers. Let's go ahead and welcome. Get your emojis ready. Throw some love in the chat for Finn Bell. What's up? Happy New Year.
Hey, Richie. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to be here. I was telling Doc earlier that I kind of had to drag myself up. I wasn't feeling too well, but I'm glad that I made it, because it always makes me feel better to be here. So I'm going to share 3 pieces tonight. One of them is an older one. One of them is new and still a work in progress. And the third one is from a book that I just recently got about a month ago. So the older poem from 2021 is called Pacific Deconstructed. It was a collaboration with Frog Corpse. Pacific Deconstructed. Your hands, my hands, in close quarter, rubbed raw. The snake coiled menace, branching to constrict, floating of ash and refuse. Body on vacation, thoughts back stateside. Impatient steam of city teeth between the grates inside of cheek bitten. We were the same shades into dark, muddied over, oh salty brine. Drink life back into my stigmata. Hurt me, baptize me, absorb it. It is love that I drain the Pacific of with my thirst. Bite into cotton, the silver dollars that I offer Karen. My tongue can feel, slip inside. Upon the plinth I was once pristine, scented of rose at Kadav, where you placed your altar, ecstatically flames licked. Teresa de Avila happy to burn for you. Eye of the rotund, milk-giving breast. I remember how I was once a daughter of blood and bone, of root and wood, my monstrosity, a pneumatic cloth of beauty. Okay. So this work in progress possibly might become a cento. I don't know. And it has so far 2 borrowed lines. One from Khalil Gibran on love, and the line is, "For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you." The other one is from This Is Not Love, Elsa Gidlow. It is not love, love is for the gods. So I'm only maybe possibly halfway through this poem. It is his lips, stillborn, trilling cosmos, speaking prophecy, anointing the dead, who proclaims gospel, claims of not grieving, no mourning, of the corrupted body, the limbo-bound spirit, ascend, body and soul. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as you trample olive to recede our hanging tree, you tread life to death, to resurrection assurance. Call me to herald atop your hallowed hill, walk in ecstatic trance to the place of skulls. I begin here my pilgrimage. It is not love, love is for the gods, but go forth. If the flame circles your head, you too will rewrite what is etched in stone. What is scripture will speak in tongues. Truth is a thin, blessed wafer, waging war, declaring mutiny as you swallow it. I anchor my feet to the burial ground, and ashes consume my calves. Did I not bathe your own feet and hands in the most splendid of perfumed oils? I look upward to your crown of promises, see visions of a crown you made of thorns, your projecting, your proselytizing. The masses think you crest the waves, a miracle they follow. Oh, Galilean, see not the boat bobbing near. See not disciples' corpses, bodies multiplying like fish and loaves in the hundreds, teeming thousands carrying you aloft. That's as far as I got with that. So last one is from a book that I got recently. There is a nonprofit organization called Kondiman, and Nona Lee, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She's an awesome poet. She put my name in and I won the book. So it's called Poetry as Spellcasting. It is edited by Tamiko Byer, Destiny Hemphill, and Lisbeth White. It's by North Atlantic Books here in Berkeley. And I wanted to read the opening poem. The opening poem is Awakening of Stones, Hypothesis, Central Argument by Lisbeth White. In the new mythology, you are always whole. Even when you fracture, it is not a part. A part does not exist here. You will know that upon entry. You will know each fissure as it breaks open your life. You will know the cracked edges of your splendor. You will know the steady tear and repair of your muscles. It is true, the work is letting go while pulling back together. It is true, the heart is broken less by pain, more often by the beauty we fear we cannot offer. You are born knowing how to make the sounds of your heart. You are born knowing how to make your hands into wings. Thank you.
So awesome. Thank you for sharing. And how can people follow and support like a lot of stuff that you do online?
Mostly on Instagram. I'm Finn_Bell. I also have a link tree, which I'll put in the chat. And as of this January, I will be reviving my every first and third Saturday early morning writing. It's a writing gathering. You just basically go in, write, have a quiet writing time for 45 minutes. And I provide prompts up on the screen. It's called Wake Up and Write. So I'll also put that in the chat. Yeah. Thanks so much, Richie.
So very cool. And I will share that as well to everyone on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, by the way. And we have a full list, as I've been mentioning. We have some returns. We have a couple debuts. So sit tight, like all awesome performers. In fact, it's the first day of a new year, and someone when we've been missing for a little while. We're usually used to seeing him at the end of the show, but today he requests to kind of go towards the beginning. Rightfully so. So here's a familiar name and a new place on the list. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Mr. Teso Somok, coming from La Causa, Los Angeles. What's going on, man? Go ahead and do your thing. Take it away. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, Richie. See, can you hear me? Okay. Let's see. Just so you know, La Causa stands for Los Angeles, California, USA. In case you didn't know. And I'm gonna share screen. I have 1 and 1, and I'm gonna do this this one that I had a lot of fun. If I can find the share screen here. Share screen. Okay, here we go. All right, can you see that? All right, I'm assuming that's a yes. Rendezvous with Uranus. Scene. A brightly lit newsroom. Two Midwestern news anchors, Mark and Sue, sit at a sleek desk and bathe in studio lights. Mark. Good evening, St. Louis. This is KSDK Channel 5 News, St. Louis NBC affiliate. Your source for the latest news, weather, and sports in the St. Louis area. KSDK is committed to providing you with the information you need to know, delivered with accuracy and integrity. Our team of experienced journalists works hard to bring you the stories that matter most to you. News alert! We interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast for a breaking news story. Authorities have confirmed the presence of a Urani visitor at a poultry farm outside the city. Sue. That's right, Mark. The creature, believed to be a scout for a potential interstellar border invasion, has been spotted lurking around the chicken coops, causing quite a stir amongst the feathered residents. Mark. Officials are still trying to determine the visitor's intentions, but one thing is certain. This is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Cut to live feed of a reporter standing outside the poultry house, surrounded by a crowd of confused and angry locals. Brenda Squawk. I'm here at the scene in St. Louis where tensions are running high. The Uranian, believed to be a 4'3", stocky, laborious creature, has been contained within the poultry house. Locals, however, are not pleased with its lack of action. Camera pans to an angry-looking farmer. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Came all the way from Uranus just to sit around, clean chicken shit, and throw scratch and peck at the ground like a chicken? What a waste of a spaceship. Camera pans to an elongated object distorted from the re-entry heat, kind of like a giant flying burrito. Cut to commercial. Taco Wango's Como Chingas Challenge. Can you conquer the 5-pound Como Chingas Chimichangas burrito? Scene opens to a fiery red background, mariachi music playing in the background. Narrator. Calling all burrito aficionados, champions of chili, and challengers of spice, prepare to be tested because Taco Wango is serving up a dish that's not for the faint of heart. Camera zooms in a monstrous, overflowing burrito the size of a football. Narrator. Introducing the Como Chingas Chimichangas Challenge, a 5-pound behemoth of flavor and fury, packed with seasoned carne asada, fiery chorizo, savory pinto beans, fluffy red Spanish rice, and an inferno of chile macho salsas. This burrito is a test of your stomach's limits and a testament to your love for Mexican cuisine. Cut to a montage of customers struggling, then triumphantly abandoning the burrito. I'm gonna jump to the. Do you dare to take the Como Chingas Chimichangas Challenge? Prove your mettle and join the ranks of Taco Wango legends. Visit your nearest Taco Wango today and ask for the challenge. May the spice be with you. Scene fades out on the Taco Wango logo with the tagline, Taco Wango, where we stuff your burrito. Camera pans to a woman holding a sign that reads, "We want probing." Woman, we were promised alien abductions, probing, even mind control. Instead, we get a glorified space chicken. This is a false advertising. Mark, back in the studio. Well, Sue, it seems even aliens can't live up to expectations. Sue, indeed, Mark. This just goes to show that sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Another commercial break. Upbeat music plays a montage of happy chicken frolicking in the field appears. Narrator. Are you tired of store-bought chicken that's all wings and no breasts? Do you long for the juicy, flavorful grasp of your childhood? Well, look no further than Foster Farms. Our chickens are raised cage-free on a diet of organic feed, resulting in the plumpest, most delicious chicken breast you'll ever taste. So ditch the store brands and head for Foster Farms today. Foster Farms, the best breast in the Midwest. Back in the studio. Mark, welcome back. Missouri, we're still following the developing situation in St. Louis. Now let's return to our reporter on the scene. Camera cuts back to the reporter looking increasingly exasperated, Brenda Squawk. The situation is getting out of hand, Mark. The locals are demanding that the uranium do something, anything to prove its extraterrestrial origins. They're even threatening to throw eggs at it. Camera pans to the Uranian who is calmly sweeping and shoveling chicken shit. Crowd erupts in boos and cheers. Brenda Squawk. Well, Mark, it seems the Uranian has done an utmost unwanted job. But will it be enough to appease the angry mob? Only time will tell. News anchors exchange confused glances. Brenda on the screen, standing in a field of chickens pecking on the ground, microphone in hand. Mark, Sue, the atmosphere here is electric. Locals are on edge, fearing the worst. We've seen armed farmers patrolling the perimeters, pitchforks in hands. Brenda, approaching a burly farmer, microphone pointed. Excuse me, sir, how are you feeling about the extraterrestrial situation? Farmer, nope, just watching. Sorry, I missed that. Eyes narrow, checking a rusty pitchfork. Well, Brenda, I ain't never seen nothing like it. That there uranium fellow just sits by the coops all day and ain't doing nothing just but choking his shovel and looking at our chickens with these big watery eyes. Brenda confused. Watery eyes? He's not trying to probe them or anything. Farmer, nope, just watching. He's even got himself a little notebook and keeps scribbling stuff down. Makes me nervous, I tell you. Brenda. turning to the camera. As you can see, folks, the locals are understandably on their guard, but the Uranian behavior is certainly unexpected. Could this be a sign of the peaceful intentions? Could the Urani be a chicken of enthusiast? Mark back at studio, chuckling. Well, Sue, that's certainly a new twist on this story. Let's hope the Uranian isn't planning on turning our feather friends into interstellar fried chickens. Sue smiling. Well, keep you updated on the situation unfolds. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this message from our sponsor. Don't let the polyps and other unwanted guests colonize your colon. Get your annual colonoscopy medical procedure today. It's quick, painless, and could save your life. Don't let another year pass you by without your annual colonoscopy. Colon cancer is a serious threat, but it's a highly treatable if caught early. At Advanced Colonoscopy Associates, our experienced team uses the latest digital technology to ensure a safe and comfortable procedure. You won't feel a thing but a soft bump. Schedule your appointment today and give yourself a peace of mind you deserve. Advanced Colonoscopy Associates will keep your colon happy. Sue, Mark, are you sure this is the appropriate time to be promoting colonoscopies? Mark, grinning. Hey, Sue, a healthy gut is a happy gut, and a happy gut is more likely to be receptive to an alien visit, right? Sue groans. Mark laughs. Mark shaking his head. Can you imagine the disappointment? All those years of prepping your underground bomb shelters, stacking up on spam and canned beans, and practicing your alien battle cries, only to be confronted by a friendly bird caretaker. Sue, talk about an existential crisis. Baron Discroc. That's exactly it, Mark. The people are starting to question everything they thought they knew about illegal alien life. It's a bit of a cultural shift, to say the least. Mark, now back to Brenda and any word on what the authorities plan to do with the Uranian. Brenda, they're still trying to figure it out, Mark. Some are calling for his immediate deportation, while others are suggesting we try to communicate with him. It's a delicate situation, and future inter-border galactic relations hang in the balance. Mark, thanks. That's right, Sue. That is just one of the many strange and wonderful things that happen in the great state of Missouri. Sue, and we'll be here to bring it all to you, all the latest updates, no matter how bizarre they may be. In peace.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, and then I see a kid cutting, so we can cut there if that's fine with me.
Cool. And just really quick for people, we got a lot of new peeps tuning in. How can people follow your work online and all the cool stuff you got going on?
Sure, folks can follow me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. I do actually have a featured out in your part of the woods. I'll be at the People's Lit Festival. I have a feature one of those days, and I will be on a panel, and that is in February, I believe. Yeah, February 23rd. 2024 at the Corpus Christi, I believe, right?
Okay.
All right.
Cool. And any links in the chat for sure. All right. I hear my echo. Echo. All right. Thank you, Tez, for joining us.
Thank you.
And normally, I would say this. Normally, in addition to another piece, Tez usually shares some music on guitar, but maybe next time. I know you've been really busy, so thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, cool. Let's see. Tony G on YouTube says he lost audio. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, or if maybe there's an audio thing happening with YouTube. I'll have to double check that. But all right, for the sake of time, we do have more peeps. I want to make sure to get them on again. For those of you who are here with us on the Zoom call, just check the chat. I'm constantly trying to post updates on the list so you guys can kind of be ready. In fact, we're gonna go from La Causa. Okay, I like that. That was a clever one too. From Tez, we're gonna go to Chicago, and someone we haven't seen in a little while, but always a treat when they come in. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Kingston Smart Nolly. Hey, Kingston, what is up? Always as always, love your enthusiasm in the chat. But go and take it away.
I'm on mute. Hey, I shaved my head. Surprise. We.
Looks
Oh,
good.
hold on.
Looks good.
I didn't know. I didn't realize I had to unmute myself. Okay, never mind. Okay. Anyway, hey everyone, I'm back. I shaved my head. Yay. It's so good. It feels I can wear hats again. It's awesome. Um, Happy to be here. Oh, we're matching? Oh my God, I'm checking the chat. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Um, so I have a couple poems. I'm setting a 7-minute timer. It's 7 minutes, right, Richie?
Yes.
Okay. I'm setting a 7-minute timer now. Um, yeah, I just want to use part of my time to say, like, explicitly, I had a psychotic break in June, and it was pretty public. I was like out of my mind and posting on Instagram, not my poetry Instagram, but my main Instagram, and people saw. And it's been really hard. I lost my in-person community, but my virtual community was still kind of there, but I still felt like really ashamed and like kind of like disappeared from the poetry community as well. So um there was someone who from the poetry community who like reconnected with me, but then like I was like so busy that I was unavailable, and they called me selfish, and they said that I would always be alone, which was really hard because I was frankly suicidal that day. But I decided, I don't know, I decided, hey, it's Monday, it's the first day of the year, it's 2024, so I'm just gonna sign up last minute and log in anyway. So I'm here, and I'm really grateful for the space, especially because I caught COVID on Christmas. Merry Christmas to me. So it sucks. I'm coughing up bloody phlegm. That's all. I'll get into it. It's terrible. So I just want to take this time to say everyone really needs to be COVID conscious, even now, even 3 years into the pandemic, because it's not over. It's an endemic. Okay. It's not going away because we fucked up. But I'm going to get off my soapbox now, and I'm going to get into poetry. King's dead. Trigger warning, mention of rape and adult language. It takes a village to raise a child. Oh, you sweet summer child, you don't know me. It takes a village to raise a child, to burn him to the ground, to rape him, to break him. You don't know me, you allistic bully, you cisgender chaser. You are broken too. There's no such thing as a tough week. We are warriors. We tough it out. But no, there is no we. There is only I. Fuck the team. Fuck your morals. Fuck your family. Fuck your tribe. Who am I? Not your father, not your brother, not your friend. My last break was the end. Okay, I have 3 more minutes. Here's another one. I want you to be lovely. Trigger warning, mention of rape, PTSD, emotional abuse. Years removed from that sea of crumbs, dandruff, and body odor, I wonder if I traumatize you I wonder about us. You victimized me. You raped him. You fixated on me. You isolated me. You shocked me. You scared me. You scarred me. Did you love me? Did you hate me? Would you have raped me? I have nightmares. I have wet dreams. I want to find you. I want to punch you in the face. I want to hug. I want to cry. I want to fall through the snow. I want to watch music videos. I want to touch your dick. I want to smoke. I want to sing. I want to laugh. I want to fuck. I want revenge. I want to suffocate you. I want you to be lonely. For us, there is no closure, no healing, no forgiveness, no love, no peace. Okay, I have 2 minutes. I'm gonna do a happier one. Hold on. Okay, here's a happier one. Sammy. We both had eyes darker than the mahogany of the dining room table we would crawl under. Our giggles were airy, like the dust bunnies that we would kick with our little feet. I was the first to lay spread eagle on the grassy knoll outside of our home. I was alone, but not for long. My brother Sammy soon joined me. With grass blades brushing against our bodies, we would lay on the ground shoulder to shoulder. We watched the oak tree leaves wave hello. Silently listening to summer sounds, we would rest in the Texas sun until my mother called for me. Never for the both of us, only for me. Sam and I shared a doll. The first time I held her, I lifted her up into the sunlight that peeked through our bedroom window blinds. We marveled at her wavy brown skin, caught the light, and glowed. I stroked my fingers through her curly black hair. Sammy smiled and said, Ella's just like me. Sammy was upset when I took Ella to the spa one day. She returned with clumsy braids and her nails trimmed to nubs. Sammy said that Ella was beautiful, precisely how she came. I was 3 when our father took clippers to my head. It was the angriest sound I ever heard. I remember my tears hitting the bathroom floor. I remember the sight of my eyes in the mirror, so sore, so tired of being tied to the expectations of my parents. I remember the sound of my heart trying to pound its way out of my little chest and fall to the floor to be with my long hair for one last time. I remember Sammy's silence, tears snaking down his cheeks from the ducts of his wide eyes. Later that night, my brother and I curled in bed, calm like moonbeams floating through our window. Oh, shit. That's the timer. Can I keep going?
Yeah, if you just want to finish that piece there.
Yeah, I want to finish it. Oh my God. I thought I had more time. Later that night, my brother and I curled up in bed, calm like the moonbeams floating through our window blinds. I pulled my finger through Ella's hair, my head cold, my eyes dry, my heart hard. Sam whispered, You are not your hair. You are who you want to be. I wanted the voice of the man on Sam's favorite cassette tape. I wanted to make the speaker grills of boomboxes quake. But I also wanted to make her parents proud. I twisted myself into a trophy, trying to shine enough, trying to smile enough, trying to obey. I lost myself at a young age. Brother, I'm sorry. I can remember your eyes, but not the angle of your nose. I can remember the length of your hair, but not the pattern of your curls. But it's time to let go, Sammy. It's time to be who I want to be. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kingston. And you're getting a lot of love here in the Zoom chat as well as YouTube. How can people follow and support you online if you want people to do that,
Yeah, so I have an Instagram that I haven't used in like a year, but It still exists, and I use it to follow other cool poets. It is, hold on. I changed the name. Hold on. It is Croetry, CRO.ETRY, Croetry. I'll put it in the chat.
Very cool. Thanks for joining us. And of course, we're here every Monday. So anytime you want to share some pieces, you're always welcome here. All right. So that's Kingston and Chicago. We're going to go a little up more up north, Winnipeg, Canada. In fact, we got our Canadian 1-2 punch coming up next. And he's been coming through and sharing some work. As always, a big fan. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage Squigs. Go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here tonight, sharing with everyone and beginning of a new year. I got a few pieces I want to do, I suppose. Start off the year. You guys ever have a piece that, you've held on for years and you just keep editing it and changing it and it just never sits right? Well, anyways, this is my piece. It's I call it Sidriel. Here we go. Sidriel. Two birds flying at night crash into each other, and as they spin, falling in a cloud of feathers and starlight, they are reminded of a time before they learned how to fly. Now will we fold into each other's secrets? Would we fit each other like a spoon? Won't you take my hand and chase stars with me? We'll catch them if they fall and bury them in the backyard of our childhood dreams, so we could always find our way back there. Chase the shoreline, fly with a flock of airplanes. We'll dance the clouds as we leave our footprints upon foreign shores. Stay up with me, making gift wrapping of our bed sheets, and every morning will be our birthday. We'll find a beach to name after our children and serenade the ocean as it refuses to stop kissing the shore. We'll use toothbrushes as tuning forks. See, the warmest place in the world is next to you. Let me sip coconuts in your arms. Won't you plant my name behind your tongue, that it may bloom in the garden of your smiles? Fake a limp on New Year's Eve and ride my shoulders to the highest floor, so we could hopscotch the skyline. 'Cause if you sing me a lullaby of forgiveness, I will save you from all the broken promises, and we can finger paint sunrises on each other's skin. And finally, be orphans with me, so we could name each other the way we once named the stars, as if the constellations held a promise we could find our way home. Thank you. And, okay. There's all the other versions. Anywho, for my second piece, like to start off the new year, thinking about a particular year that has gone before. This one is, if I could find it, there it is. It's summer 2016. Back then, I did a road trip out east. Now, where I am is it's about the center of Canada here, and we spent a month going to the east there. Even dipped a little bit into northern New York. Never made it to the city though, but someday. This one is, that's what I wrote about it. About being with that special someone that once and still holds a good piece of my heart. This is summer 2016. For want of fire, further furnaces speared into alignment. I lit your cigarette, and you ignited my tongue. We crossed our wires and poured pavements a cacophony of car horns and shifting street lamps heading east, hazard lights left on as the planet rushed on by. Now everything is muted in your wake. We have never been this way before, moving towards your home, moving away from mine, the roads under construction in between, I keep pulling at my flesh, but this body was always a puppet for you, husks for which I was growing into and decorated with threads and falsehoods. Weekends now built to be empty, with all my windows and doors closed. Not even an echo escapes out of politeness for a memory I am just learning to keep sacred. Oh, but there were fireworks once. They celebrated the mortal distance of hours and kilometers between us. Now photographs grow heavy, collecting shadows made less so with each new attempt at levity. Don't save me from these days. I may lose count of the steps leading back to you, lose count of the clouds for which we mortgage tomorrow. Some days move heavier every day. I miss you. With hands so small as if broken by this world, found me in places I didn't know were home. As we raised our Paluchis and laid down in Walmart parking lots, everything is a facsimile of what could have been, but we try every day. As the trees lengthen around us, we wait for a chance to plant our lips among the changing green. I reach for you overseas. I dream of you recklessly. I breathe mutual atmosphere. I don't want to leave this place if you won't take me. In neighborhoods as safe as routines, I hide and wait for the sky to be paved. As the streets overflow with thunderstorm warnings, with cigarettes that won't quit, with good coffee and new uses for paper. My tongue waits for your toes behind the last unlocked door. As you practice the full nothing away from me, my tongue waits for your toes behind the last unlocked door. We shared sleeping bags upon quarries, brushed our teeth to aurora borealis, in constant search of crown land for which to rest our heads. Thank you. And for my last piece here, I'm going to do is it's actually a cover poem. It's by a local poet, goes by the name of Angeline Schellenberg. And I mention this because tomorrow, and just like every first Tuesday of the month, she hosts the Speaking Crow open mic, and it's the longest running poetry reading out here in the west of Canada, although Winnipeg does consider itself Manitoba the gateway to the west. But yeah, out here in the prairies, it's the longest running poetry reading series. It's called The Speaking Crow. Find it on Facebook. It happens around 7 p.m. Central Time. And this is a piece from Angeline Schellenberg, her book, Blue Moon, Red Herring, and it's called Turquoise. And ink to glimmer Tibetan hope skyward. When Father Sky sent the first rains, the Navajo danced, and their tears of joy, swirling, seeped into Mother Earth and dried as stones of sky. A rock of friendship at home in barren places, escape into radiant gloom. Chiffon gowns, clean lines, glacier-fed, lakes that glow. Persians believe it could cure blindness. Praise to the vintage fridge that hums your granny's prayers, the toes that led you to the beach. The French word for Turkish, le café, romanced by the bazaar. Enticement, smoothened. I think I hear your mood ringing. Tiny tablets from Sinai, inscribed with the laugh lines of Yahweh. Yes, wordsmith, let's stoop. Let others soar. The sleeping beauty mine lies dormant. The turquoise lord, the Aztec god of time, warmed trees into bloom. The only turquoise flower, the jade vine beguiles bats into its cascade of elf shoe blooms. Fallen sky, leak into the crevice that remain. Soak up copper for blue, iron for green, form veins. The jewels will clasp strands of mother rock, revealing me as I wish to be, serene as spider silk, strong as robin egg, turn wise, tranquil eyes, as it was and will be. Thank you. That was Turquoise by Angeline Schellenberg from her book Blue Moon, Red Herring. If you could find it, it was published by the Winnipeg Arts Council, Saskatchewan Arts Board. Manitoba Arts Council. But yeah, you can find it's really cool. It's actually the book itself is a color palette like you get from when you paint, you get from a hardware store, and each color is a poem. So please, I hope to see you all tomorrow night for the Speaking Crow. Look us up on Facebook, and yeah, thank you for your time, and thank you everyone.
Excellent. So, so many great lines, such great poetry, and thanks for sharing that with us too. That last the cover piece there, Swigs. Thank you everyone, and again, you could check out his social media handle. It was there. Oh yeah, Kit came through with the link as well. Awesome. What can I say? There's so much praise right now in the chat. Definitely, if you haven't had a chance, check it out. Once again, welcome everyone. This is our Monday night online open mic. I see a lot of people are watching today, so that's really cool. We have a pretty good audience. I love it. Yeah, let us know you're here. Say hi. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. In fact, like I said, we've been going from coast to coast. We're gonna go from Winnipeg to Ontario, Canada for our next performer. And again, she's relatively new, but she's been coming weekly, and we really appreciate and love that. So let's go ahead and make some room and welcome to the stage, Cassie McCoy. Cassie, what is up? Happy New Year. Welcome back and good to see you as always. Go ahead and take it away when you are ready.
Hi, hey Richie, hey everyone, Happy New Year. I just want to ask because I went to an open mic on Zoom last night, and apparently my audio was kind of like tinny and weird. Is it okay right now?
It is a little weird compared to the last couple of weeks, but we can still hear you.
Okay, well, all right, okay. Well, let's just go with it again then, I guess. Okay. So, this first piece is called Sink. Let's create moments that we can sink into. Forget the stable ground, it will return. Sink with me, laugh, and forget why you're laughing. Let our smiles infect one another so much that we forget where the feelings begin and end. Let's not ask why. I know it feels important to keep an eye on the time so it doesn't run away without us. But let's slip under the canopy together and forget the world outside. Imagine this is a dream and you've been given the key to stay. The only way to not wake up is surrender. Thank you. And then I had a couple more here. I had them all queued up. Now I'm looking for my list. Okay, so I know the audio isn't perfect, but is it audible? Like, can you still hear me? Okay, sort of.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right, that's good. All right. This is called Water Incarnate. I may be 60% water, but I long to be water in its entirety. That is to say, I've craved fearlessness, fierceness, the kind that takes me up against strong forces, triumphing over them, be it crashing forth and shifting the sturdy, or slowly penetrating a massive blockade, all the while having a godly capacity for giving, offering myself up to aid in the flourishing of other lives, a balm for those parts to be absorbed, capable of submerging others, enveloping them in fascination, capable of captivation. Okay. And I just had a couple more here. Okay. This one is called Warm Rays of Light. You took me hunting for warm rays of light, and I was so grateful to know they could still get through. Your gaze fixed on me, and the clouds began to clear. I wanted you to see in. My trembling hands began to steady, become braver, curious to feel the waters, maybe even swim. First, I dipped my toe in. The waves were silky and warm, and soon they began lapping at my ankles. The feeling so enticing, I wanted to just dive right in. And I know I always ask, but I'm never clear on how much time there's. I should really start timing these. But I'm assuming I'm still good on time. Am I, or
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Okay, great. So just have one more then. This is called The Answer is Wonderment. I wore myself out trying to crack the code, to unlock pure happiness, and instead was called upon to answer why. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning, and was only called upon to answer, what if there are mysteries? Sorry, I tripped myself up here. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning, and was only called upon to answer, what if there were no mysteries left? Where would you place your wonderment? What would spark the dopamine to flow? What would you taste with glee? See, when I was a kid, I didn't realize that in the future lay a curious option, full of air and light, that there were mysteries that I could best leave unsolved in favor of chasing wonderment and letting meaning flutter and flit for me and dissipate into the ether, into the dark of a still night. And that is all I have for tonight. Thank you, Richie, and everyone.
Awesome. Really quick, and do you want to plug your social media by any chance?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me on Instagram, my poetry page at relentless. Oh my gosh, I can't talk now. At relentless intrigue, all in word. Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm such a big fan of that name, Relentless Intrigue. And of course, I feel like that's a theme we're seeing in a lot of your work. So thank you, Cassie. And I know you got some stuff cooking up pretty soon. And yeah, hopefully some of those poems I sent you were cool. Anyway, thank you for joining us, one of our Canadian friends. And let's see, we are going to be, it looks like our next several performers, we're going to be coming back home to El Paso EP. And in fact, we have a debut. So our next performer is a songwriter. She does have a single out on all platforms called Undressed, but she wants to share a little bit of poetry with us, which I think is always welcome. Yeah, she's in El Paso, and it's Eileen Kelly. What is up, Eileen? Welcome to the show. Thank you for your patience, and we're happy to have you here. Go and take it away when you are ready.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. My name is Eileen Kelly. This is my first time performing at an open mic, and it's so fun. I love hearing everybody's beautiful poems. I've been writing poetry since I was 16, and I wrote a lot during the pandemic. And I would love to share 3 of them with you. So the first one is called Sanctuary. Like a beast feasts upon Karen, bode your devotion. This is sanctuary. For one so small and feeble, be the statue's figure in the likeness of one's eye. A tale to be told when given the chance, a hand to hold when time seems everlasting. Be the noble heart that like Caesar of Rome, or the loyalty of a mother, her children never far from home. Weigh down your mass. Writhe inside this cave-like soul of mine. Apply exertion to the bleeding and breathing thing that is now labeled hope. It rises, it falls, it crescendos in the melody almost right on tempo. Oh, sanctuary, how you tease. Will the notes be played just for me? This quiet melody, all the love and loyalty, nobility and devotion. Will there be a hand to hold? a tale to be told. Sorry, I lost my place. The grand finale of the show can only fix such a broken soul. So Sanctuary, if you love me, please don't let go. This next one is called Infatuation. Infatuation. It can't be displaced. It holds on, grips tight. It won't let go. It's sinister, yet inviting. It's some hope of, don't hurt me. The unlit candle becomes dripping wax when these words are matched. I love you. Infatuation, a crazy ideal of compulsive passion, but it can't be helped. The addiction of oneself that is pursued unravels them entirely. It's consumed in the majority given in spite of knowing, deep down inside of me, I sense worry. It won't take long for you to forget, you know. Like a parasite bugging, fixation will cease your independent thought entirely. For the silly sake of desperation, infatuation is the death of all self-proclamation. Proceed with caution. And this is my last poem. It's called This is War. Spacious our graces were laid out before you, for the king slayer, the jester, and all the other fools who smash the pillars of a well-crafted scheme, like some devastating crime scene. The wage of strain heaves heavy upon the shoulders of the alliance, threatening to snap at the sound of a gun. It's your fault, we cry. You got in front of our bullets. You kindled the flame of this havoc's reign. But we both know, clear as the blue in the sky, as painful as a stab with a knife, our faults, our mistakes, are only for ours to blame. Thank you so much.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Eileen. Thanks for joining us. And also really quick, I know you talked about your music. How can people like support that online, you know, and follow you if you'd like?
Yeah. Again, my name is Eileen Kelly. Go stream my song Undressed. It's available on all music platforms. You can follow my Instagram at Eileen Kelly Official. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so great. Glad you found us. You got to come back. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome. Absolutely. You know, we're here every Monday, and I know it's not a traditional open mic, but obviously you can see we get some cool stuff going on, some great peeps and a community behind it. And when you're ready, you know, find us in El Paso. I mean, find us at one of the venues. You can join us, and it'd be good to hear you. Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you so much.
And we have shout out to Jessica, who is online here on our YouTube channel supporting. I think you, in fact. Thanks for sharing the link, by the way. I saw that on Instagram. Very cool. Yes. All right. So we're gonna go to. Oh, by the way, there's gonna be a lot of writing workshops. A lot more writing workshops coming in El Paso, but stay tuned for that. Announcements will be coming. But for now, we're gonna stick around. We got another awesome El Paso powerhouse, and they've been with us during these online times. And even though it's busy because of work and every time they have a chance to stop by, it is also a treat. So without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Lee Martinez Soto. What is up, Lee? Hey.
Hi, good to be back. I'm going to read 3 poems, an old one, an oldish one, and a new one. So first with the old one. This is para los locos. Este va para todos los locos, los desquiciados, the psychotic fucking bitches who grew up not knowing what the fuck was wrong with them, who thought themselves broken, bad, evil. You're not. You had no words, were given no tools to learn and process, te llamaron malcriado, niño problema, te tacharon de causa perdida, denied you help under the false belief that you were too much of a lost cause to get help. You were a child, and you learned what you could to survive. Y a pesar de todo lo malo, los obstáculos, el abuso, las ganas de rendirte, you are here, aquí sigues, loco, desquiciado, psychotic, neurotic, anxious, and depressed, aquí sigues. And I'm glad to see you're here, still alive, still thriving, undoing the generational curses, unlearning the ghosts of words aim at you, fix on causing you more pain, make you feel menos. Aquí sigues, trabajando duro por un futuro donde quererte a ti mismo te cueste menos. And I'm glad we're still here. Y seguimos. This one's the first one. Then I'm gonna read a oldish, newish one. It's still like in the works. It's called Split. Trigger warning, content warning for body dysmorphia and dysphoria. Split. Right in the middle, sagittal section attempting to find who I am, who I was, and who I want to become. En español me puedes decir como quieras, as long as we shared the roots of our tree, since it was only a seed. New leaves of growth with it out until this little piece of me feels safe enough to be ella misma. In English, I'm many, like the plurality of languages I've learned to switch into depending on who I share space with. English, Spanish, Spanglish, academic, de la casa, de la calle. Cut from one border to the other, juggling identities like I did papers and court dates so I could be here and there at the same time. That's the second one. And then the last one, I just literally wrote this before BWOMS started, and it's just exploring rejection sensitivity. Smile, sit straight, keep your wandering eyes focused, make small talk, but be soft-spoken, cheery, calm, unbothered. Smile. Check your nails, your phone, pretend you're texting someone else, completely unaware of eyes staring, waiting for a reaction, and smile. Drink something, anything, to try to cool down the red inferno of your anger, sadness, perhaps shame, bubbling up to your calm, collected, unbothered face. And don't forget to smile. We know you would rather spill your own tears, let your own blood flow before letting racing thoughts give shape to festering fears. We know you would rather crawl inside your own skin than feel another second of this torturous constriction settling inside your chest. But smile. Turn around, look at them. Pretend the obvious does not sting, like this new instance of rejection does not cause you any pain. Just smile. And that's it.
Oh, damn. Wow, you just wrote that. Yeah, very relatable for many of us. But I know, as I always say, that's not just it. That's everything. And you have your Instagram handle underneath right there.
Yes,
anything else you want to promote?
It's easy. Just go to cadáveres_literarios on Instagram or Lee Martinez Soto on Facebook. Nothing new so far. I have submitted some publications, so I'm hoping. Let's all cross our fingers, collective fingers. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome, very cool. And as always, as you can tell there, yeah, MV Lee, as we often said back in the day. If you can tell, Lee's quite the pioneer with the cool screen and the graphics and the cute, sad little ghost, and always a fan of that stuff. But yes, fingers crossed on that. Again, we do have some stuff in the works for people in El Paso who want to write and work on getting stuff published and just getting stuff done. But again, stay tuned for that. But we're going to keep it in El Paso. Many of you have, I mean, his name's been mentioned so many times tonight, not just by myself, including Tumble Words. It's time for Mr. Monday Night. Let's go ahead and hand things over to Kit Van. Go ahead and take away, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Richie. Great night. Two quick ones of mine, and then a cover, and then something a little different. Hey, are you full of doubt and shame? Try poetry. Is modern life scary, but too convenient to leave fully? Try poetry. Are you meek? Poetry will force you into the body language of bravery without you even choosing it. It's like you were brave all along. Are you misunderstood? Poetry can turn that into an advantage. Even people who hate poetry will refer to great things as poetic. They can't help it. It slips out of their mouth like dribble. They don't understand why. They are fearful and full of resentment. You could make them run. Everything you think is weak within you is not. It is waiting to be applied. Poetry is how you learn what you wish you were. Maybe you don't want to be that all the time. You can just visit for a poem. Think of how smug and self-possessed Clark Kent feels, choosing to sit next to us in the traffic every morning. Okay. For Day of the Dead at Tumblewords, Raquel Mejia had us write our own obituaries, a very unusual experience, which I recommend. This is the story of Kit Wren, whose name is invoked in so many dedications, in so many ticks and traditions and ways of doing things, that it is almost as if at any moment any one of us might become him, but only for a few minutes at a time, like a ghostly adrenaline, like a Mario star, like a poltergeist. Was Kit Wren a person or a method? He loved to watch other people discover their voice, their bravery, their values. He always said, "This isn't that hard." The Tumblewords Project, something he shepherded for somewhere between 1 and 700 years, continues today under the leadership of Thurman Barkshat III, someone he met at a bar trivia night. Thurman did not know him well. We have seen often in our research just this mix of total trust and total secrecy. To speak to you as a historiographer, it's very annoying. And cover poem. Shit, gotta find it again. Sorry, I'm not very well organized. We have a Okay, we'll skip that and we'll just go to the second thing I was doing, which is going to be the first thing I was doing now. But I do have, I consider myself a freelance critic, and what that means is I have a Goodreads account that I take way too seriously. But I read 55 books last year. It's okay. And I'm going to, my favorite was Boulder by Eva Baltazar, a very just ripping queer romance that just finds all these different ways to break your heart that you didn't know were there. And this is the best paragraph in my favorite book of 2023. Months pass, perfect and luminous, then one day she tells me she's leaving. She says it with tears in her eyes, trembling and hesitant like a kid who doesn't want to jump in the water. We're sitting in bed facing each other. It's mid-afternoon and looks like rain. It could have been a phenomenal night. I gaze down at her hands. She's fiddling with one of my rings. They don't fit her, though now and then she likes to slip them down to her knuckles and make fun of me. She says things that are dirtier than anything I've heard on board and digs them into my skin. I stop her with my hand and stroke her belly in a steady motion, like the critical moment in a concert where the conductor invites the other instruments to join in. I wipe her tears with my thumbs. I look down at my chest, smooth and bare except for a fresh bite mark and a tattoo of Shiloh. How can this intense locus of pain not be bleeding? She's accepted a position in Reykjavik. A good opportunity, she says. The room spins as if on stilts, the dramatic scene inside making it dance. I love her. I can think of only one person I'd kill for her. She looks at me without asking, and I nod. Then I hold her like I want her to get her drunk and make her forget love and all the coins in her newfound treasure. Rain begins to fall. Life tears open like a wound that rots and bubbles. If anyone talks to me about happiness, I swear to God I'll break their face. That's how the first chapter ends from Boulder by Eva Baltazar. And got it running through my pluggables here. The Tumblewords Project, as Richie cryptically hinted at. We're back for 2024. Free writing workshops every Saturday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. We only ask that you share what you write with us in a nice little circle. It's a lot of fun. I know that sounds scary, but you'll get used to it. And we're coming back this Saturday with our friend from Canada, Kelly Mary McAllister, with a workshop entitled Resolute. So something for you resolution makers out there. The week after that, we'll have Nick Paleologos. And the week after that will be Maria Perez. And as Robin Schofield was kind enough to mention, she'll be hosting the January 27th workshop. So that is all from me. We'll send it back to the boss.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate that and all the plugs. Let's see. Let's get cool. What is up, everyone? Man, this has been such an eventful night. We still got more and more poets coming up. So here we have another debut, and she's from Los Angeles, but she's visiting El Paso right now. And she's a veteran English high school teacher, and a lot of her work focuses on healing. She has a lot of published books, so I'll definitely let her do her thing. But we want to welcome her to the show. Let's go ahead and welcome Erica. Erica, where are you? Let me get you on the spotlight. Hey, welcome.
Hi. So I'm actually born and raised in El Paso, and then I moved to LA. So I wanted to do my El Paso poems, and so that's what I'm gonna do. So the first one is called El Paso. El Paso is right next to Juarez. I hated to go there. The lines were eternal. Little did poverty, no healthcare, no. Seeing those poor women carrying their babies in fabric satchels gave me gratitude because it was less. Children running by the cars trying to
Erica, really quick, I have a suggestion because your Wi-Fi is cutting out a little bit. Something that helps people is if you turn off the camera, and usually the bandwidth feels because it's cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay. Let's try this. Let me pick up. Children running by the cars trying to sell gum, dirty, hungry, desperate. We were poor. They were worse. Smelling that stenchy smell like wet clothes left overnight in a bucket. Stanky smell. I hated Juarez, but it gave me life. El Paso was my home. Low wages, single father of 4, mother dead, alone, drunken, rages. But in the morning, as the sun rose, there was God. There is nothing more beautiful than desert sunrises. They do not exist anywhere else. Bluish violet skies. It was hope. Pain could one day end. There was Chicos Tacos, that delicacy of this place. People traveled near and far for these saucy tacos. El Pasoans are loving, as seen in the mass shooting August 3rd, 2019. It was these good Samaritans that gave people a chance to live. They carried wounded victims up a hill without regard to their own life. A homeless man saved an orphan baby. People survived because El Paso and love. Resilient city of my strength, my home, my sanctuary. Although I live far, El Paso, its city, its people, its love pounds the blood in my heart. So that was it. And this is my next one. How I became a Chicana. Schooled in the racist Texas public school system, the Mexicans were non-existent in history books. The Tejanos who died fighting Santa Ana were a mere number, never named. Yet the whites who fought at the Alamo were honored and venerated. All over El Paso, Texas, were high schools carrying the names of white men who died at the Alamo. I had no idea until UT El Paso what a Chicana was and what it meant. Schooled by Chicana professor Rosalia Solorzano, exposing me to the massacre of dreamers, trying to discover who and what I was. Was I a Chicana? Did I belong? Being taught by Emma Perez and reading Gulf Dreams, learning love exists crossing genders. It exists merely between humans. Genders are irrelevant. Reading the controversy of Perez's essay, having the chutzpah to call Octavio Paz El Gran Chingon. Speaking truth, giving voice, Perez standing in her power as a Chicana woman, saying my voice matters. These seeds were planted at age 22, and yet my Chicana identity evaded me. Still not knowing who I was until ethnic studies was incorporated in LA schools. I learned about no más bebés. These women signing their fertility away, their womanhood chopped to preserve the white man. I was never taught about the Procero program. Mexicans lived in squalor, exposed to pesticides, not being paid, enslaved. I had no idea there were walkouts, these brave students rebelling against the vocational tract. My valedictorian professor at 18 was told, your track is for secretary, no college, you're female anyway, you will be pregnant soon enough. Yet she rose and got her PhD. These are the women who believed in me, who knew me before I knew myself, who gave me hope, who said you can. They exposed me to my empowered works. They screamed, you too are Chicana. Thank you. And then this one is, there's a couple of trigger warnings in the last two. This one's there's violence. And then, when I read the last one, there's molestation on the next one. So just wanted to warn people. Wish I could go barbarian on you. Gouge out your eyes, slit your throat, just enough so you can still live. Cut off your hands and feet, slice off your hair so you can physically understand the psychological agony, the mental torture you dragged me through, the daggers that you shot through me left permanent holes, the words that were poison you injected into my veins, disguised as love. Wish I could destroy you emotionally like you did me. Impossible. You are emotionally dead. If I could somehow make you feel an inch of what you did me, you could understand. Cheating is personal. Lying is betrayal. Kindness is not Novocaine. Providing is not love. It is responsibility. Yet here I am, still accepting the unacceptable. Sexual betrayal, verbal, mental abuse. Numbed, wanting to kill, wanting to die. Nothing changes, struggling to breathe, slowly sinking in quicksand. I haven't stabbed you or gunned you down. As much as I wish you would feel pain, in the deep layers of my soul, in the sickness of my mind, I still love you. And in this tormented love, it kills me slowly, ceaselessly, daily. You still don't know my pain. I won't touch you. I'd go to jail for what I do, not for what I actually wish. And then lastly, again, sexual assault or molestation. Defining molestation. Being molested, being thrown cold water in the depths of winter, shocking cold screams, for a moment, not even sure what happened. Too young to understand how your happiness was singed, burned to a crisp, only ashes are left. Applying bottles of sunscreen, trying to cover the emotional burns through the fake smile and the sad eyes. At night, in the darkness, an abyss of tears, inundating, questioning, memories, flashbacks, pulse like a snake bite. Permanent injected poison cursing me, addicting me, deleting my self-worth. Trigger, spark, ignite me traveling down a rabbit hole, accentuating my broken parts. There is a dead space inside me, stolen, That space I have searched for, trying to find answers, trying to find acceptance, confusing sex with love, searching and searching to no avail. Molestation is being 5 years old, abandoned on purpose in a dark, dreary, ominous forest.
All right. Hey, thank you for those warnings, by the way. You're new here, and of course, come back. How can people follow your work online? Because I know you have a lot of, you have some books out, and you do some life coaching. Tell us about how we can find you.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the Zoom thing. You can follow me on Erica Lopez 74 on Instagram, Erica Castro on Facebook. I also just recently published a collaboration, a book collaboration. Just real quick so I can show you this book here, my chapter. I don't think you guys can see it. No, you guys can't. It's called Graceful Growth, and it's about my healing, and I'm not even 100% healed, but when I lost my niece to suicide. So I'm chapter 3 in the book. There's 7 of us chapters, and it's called Graceful Growth, and it's about dealing with loss. And so you could find me at Erica Lopez 74 on IG or Erica Castro. And if you know anybody who needs this book, I would strongly suggest it. You can find it on Amazon. All right, so thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it all.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here, and awesome. I'm going to post on our social media probably after this is over. I'm working on a flyer right now, but we're going to be downtown El Paso. So if you guys are we're going to be at Rosewood. If you guys are in El Paso area, come check it out tomorrow. Obviously, if you're watching this later, we're usually there on Tuesdays. So be around for that. Thank you, Erica, for joining us, and come on back. It definitely struck people. We're commenting there here on Zoom. But our next performer had to take off, unfortunately. So we're going to just kind of keep going on. We're going to go to Washington, D.C., where we have another favorite, crowd favorite. He's got he just wrote poetry this time. So let's see what's up. But it's Mr. Ed Poetastic. I probably should have said in the morning. Ed, are you here with us right now? I just want to make sure before I get you on. Yeah, Ed, what is up, man? Happy New Year. Thank you for the message as well, as always, on the sign up. Without further ado, guys, we're going to go to Washington, D.C. and tune in with Ed Poetastic. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, my brother, like no other, with words like thunder. Happy New Year. Hope this year gives you extra cheer. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much, my dears. Oh, hello. Time to switch gears. Hello, my name is Ed Poetastic. Hope you're fantastic. Please be the time to enjoy my rhyme off with Sublime. I got 3 poems, so I'll take too much time. My first piece was a challenge for our wonderful host. He hosts Bombs Up. It's a Sunday open mic. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. He gave me a challenge of a out of the box love poem, and this is called "All My Love." All my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. All my love, a million your arms is never too much. I just don't wanna stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much. I love you, how deserts loves the rain. You're my glue, the coat in the pouring pain. You're my screw, the boat that keeps me sane. You're my honeydew, the fish swimming in my blue. You're my moon, the light in my pitch dark night. You're my balloon, you take me to better heights. You're my lagoon, you're the wind for my kite. You're my cocoon, you're the shield of my spite. You're my cartoon, you're my joyful ray of insight. How can I love you more? I can't count the ways. You fuel my bloody core. You set my darkness ablaze. You're what I live for. You're the nouns of my essays. You're the gift I can't ignore. You're the sun for my days. You're everything that I adore. You're the swan in my ballet. You're everything in a chore. You are something I can't paraphrase. You are nevermore. But furthermore, I can go on and on, but what more can I say? I'm here if you want to listen to more. Thank you. I got another piece. This is called Fight Isn't Over. The fight isn't over. There's still air in your lungs. The fight isn't over. There's still blood in your veins. The fight isn't over. There's still steel in your bones. The fight isn't over. There's still light in the darkness. The fight isn't over. There's still days for your tomorrows. The fight isn't over. There's still life in the abyss. The light isn't over. I'm sorry, the fight isn't over. There's still time in your hourglass. The fight isn't over. There's still fire in your heart. The fight isn't over. There's still water in your eyes. The fight isn't over. There's still wind beneath your legs. The fight isn't over. There's still stone in your fists. The fight isn't over. There's still doors in your horizons. The fight isn't over. There's still gales in your mind. The fight isn't over. There's still a moon in your there's still a moon in your night. The fight isn't over. There's still dreams in your river. The fight isn't over. There's still a sun in your atmosphere. The fight isn't over. There's still clouds in your skies. The fight is never over. And last but not least, this is called Freedom Ring. Break out of those chains. You don't have to live that way. Don't let it seep inside your brain. Don't just say okay, then obey. Don't soak up the frigid rain. Don't let your hopes burn and decay. Don't get enveloped by your pain. Don't think it's gray, gray, and gray. Don't believe your life is down the drain. Don't just hope stop. Don't just hope stop, then pray. Don't just think your hollow remains. Don't wish for death to carry you away. Don't just do and robotically explain. Don't just be a tool on full display. Don't just be another title in this domain. Don't just be a victim or the prey. Don't just keep sniffing that melancholy cocaine. Don't just say, hey, 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 then stay. Don't just cry, then scream and complain. Don't just wear those anchors like deodorant spray. Don't just believe this is your immortal campaign. Don't just be a vast and empty blank tray. Don't just drive in your same old lane. Don't just think it's about pay and repay, then replay. Don't just bask in misery. Life isn't milky plain. Don't just stay mute, but roar what you gotta say. Don't just think you're iron in the veins. Don't just stay rooted, but live life like it's your birthday. Happy New Year!
Ed, thank you so much. Now I understand when you signed up, you wrote "Happy Birthday, bro," and I get it now. That last piece put it all together. So for all the people checking you out, how can they follow and support you online?
Sure, you can follow me and support me online while coming to this wonderful, stupendous, majestic, stupacular open mic. Please come to BWOMS and show the world your stuff or your fluff, but not too rough. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook's Eddie Foreman and my IG's Eddie Foreman92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine fantastic inside. If you send me a request, you can take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. And stop spewing the one of words inside your chest. And stop feeling and being your best. And remember, you are more important than you ever know. Don't stop showing your flow and never, never stop your glow. Woo! Happy New Year!
Awesome stuff, man. Happy New Year. Glad you're here with us once again and looking forward to many, many, many more performances. Thank you, Ed. Awesome stuff, man. You just got bars, man, for days. You just keep it going. You just keep it flowing. All right, man. I didn't give a shout out to Andres earlier. Andres was tuning in. Also good seeing you on Friday for a brief moment. And you know, it was always great to see you on the live stream. Tony G again, Sandy, the fertile brains in the house. What is up? Fertile Brains is another open mic, international one that you guys can hit up. Look them up on Facebook. But right now, we're going to go ahead and on YouTube as well. But let's go ahead and we're going to come back to El Paso. We got some spoken word poetry from Alan, aka Elaine the Main. What is up, man? Go ahead and take it away. It's all you.
Awesome. Thank you, Richie. I appreciate the love tonight. I'm just gonna do some spoken word pieces. When I joined you guys last week, what is it? I said I was gonna write some stuff, but I didn't really write anything. I just kind of wrote like a couple of things here or there, but they weren't long pieces or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, I'll get back to the writing. But that's what I'm gonna share for you all tonight. It's just gonna be 2 short pieces. I wish I could share more. I don't have anything else, but I'll try and get back onto that grind, But I want to thank you all for being here. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And I guess let's just get into it. They're short pieces, so just bear with me, I hope I kind of put out on Instagram. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be performing, so come on in. Hopefully the people that I grew up with kind of come in and see what I do. Kind of like kind of just peek a little bit. But that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hold up. Trying to minimize my screen. Okay, there we go. All right. So this first one, okay, I'm gonna read the shorter of the 2 first. This first one I just titled December 30th, 2023. For like 10, maybe 10 years, I've been doing journal entries, and it started off as like a journal entry that my high school English teacher gave to us, and I would write like just some stupid shit in there. Like at first I was following the prompts, but then I had like the creativity to like start writing stupid shit in there. And it's just like something I realized that I was like, oh wow, like there's no bounds to what you can write, and that's kind of what I was going with. So this one, it's like something that I do every so often. So if I can't write poetry or something, I'll just write a journal entry. And a lot of it is just like crap, like just what I'm feeling and stuff. But this one it's kind of like borderline, like, oh, this is what it is, this is what it isn't, like that type of stuff. So this is just December 30th, 2023, and it's something that I enjoy. So under the in quotations or in parentheses, I put one of my last entries for this year. I hope I can come up with something good. Come on in and rest a while. That's generally what I have, and I've been posting it on Medium. So I'm just trying to get my work out there. This is me trying to get back into the spoken word thing, the spoken word flow. So just bear with me. This is December 30th, 2023, though. Holy Ghost staying in the post has got me scheming like never before. Holy smokes, the mighty toast of somebody who knows the pristine water. Mighty stokes my coat comes undone like when I hit the curb. Unperturbed, I deter, I perform, you prefer that I speak like I'm a master at work. And then that's just my December 30th, 2023. It wasn't, I wanted to keep writing it, but I just couldn't get into, I just got lazy. Honestly, I just got lazy and I told myself I'm going to come back to it. And so I just left that one like unfinished, This next one is called It's a Poetry Night. And I couldn't think of a title, so I just put it to Poetry Night. So that's like kind of helping me remember that, oh, I need to come back. It's poetry, spoken word. And then in quotations, it's come give this a read. So it's a poetry night. All right. Good gosh, here I am again. The perfect imagination and all the fixings, a perfect performance and the perfect symphony. I love what I do, and I love to love even more. I am great. I am an auteur. I am, you concur, my performance, my words, I adore it. My flame, my core, like a washed up porthole, I assure you. You see, to me, this is like going to the depths of a book I refuse to read. For you, that's like 10,000 leagues. For me, it's like blitzkrieg. What makes me beat and what makes me fear sleep. Why do I like to do this to myself? Why does I, unlike another one, belt like reaching onto the shelf I felt and dealt with worse? I kiss, I curse, my words like verbs unearthed by surfs. I show up like what's good. My lips unpursed, my nerds like turf, birth like stirrups. I nut up like what's fluent. At the end of the day, I'd rather just show up like, yo, what's cooking? And that's it. That's my poetry night. It's my poetry night. So that's all I really have for you guys tonight. Generally, I try and do 3, and if I'm filling it up for 4, but I'm just gonna close the night off with that. So it's a poetry night, December 30th, and I'll try and hit you guys up next week with some longer pieces. Maybe I'll do like one piece that's like super long, as opposed to like a 2 kind of short ones. But I think one piece super long would be kind of cool. Alrighty, thank you guys. It's Alon Martinez, aka Elaine the Main. You can catch me at Elaine the Main on Instagram, ALAINTHEMANE. And then you can catch me on Facebook at Alon Martinez. But then I have Medium stuff too, but I'll post that stuff later. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a nice night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cool. Thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, Medium, fun place. Lots of great articles for friends that I've seen on there. And then reminds me earlier, Tez was just sharing straight from the Substack. You know, that's another spot where people like to share writing. All right, we got a couple more performers left, guys. So right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to San Francisco for our next performer. She signed up right kind of at the beginning of the show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Tanish up on the show. Tanish, what is up? Happy New Year. Go ahead and take it away as soon as you are ready.
Okay, for sure. Happy New Year to you, to everyone. I just have a couple today. This one is Triple Sonnet of an Exorcised Haunting. Exorcised. Sitting with myself off a swimmer's high, with a cold one in this neighborhood watering hole. Strangers, yet not all of us regulars. Well, most of us, these faces I see often, they don't know me beyond idle chatter or the occasional heart-to-heart or communal drug indulgence we huddle inside the long bar, alone or not, or rather alone together, with the only air conditioning on these blocks. It talks to us. The white noise as sharp in silence as the blue angels screaming overhead. The voice of 1,000 patrons past, it says. 2. Blood is thicker than alcohol, unfortunately. But that didn't stop me from trying. My great escape from family into the arms of alone together, a hovering rain cloud of pain 2,000 miles away. Reliving my childhood. An omnipresent so-called father invading our thoughts, instincts, space, making home uninhabitable. I walked the streets for years. I opened my heart to strangers, avoiding my home, proving myself good, searching for what family could never bring themselves to tell me, perpetually giving, walking like some sort of savior. 3, the voice, it says, every so often, everyone in a while will flee despair, a kind of freeing feeling, but only for a time, to outrun our darkest emotions, avoid the pit. Stay here too long, and the faces in the photos spread across the walls begin to stare their eyes, track you like spies until home becomes your refuge, the place you run to sit in and crawl out of, the gloaming into dawn. And then my last one for today. Give me a second. Okay. Birth order itself was itself a kind of prison that my aunties and uncles, my dad, his brother, his 4 sisters relied on of how to treat family, the amount of attention and listening, what was appropriate. And it followed a line informed by birth order, an inescapable fact which extended through offspring, me as the 3rd youngest of 15 cousins and the last girl of 4. My dad's side came from oppressive so-called third world poverty, and their dad left when they were young, sending only birthday cards in his wake. It's not my story to tell, but it did get passed down to us in the form of a generational curse. Worth based on sex, worth based on age, salary, how big was your house, what did you do for a living, who was worth visiting, supporting, past inherited from India, not a family based on love. Weddings were for talking about cousins in your eyesight, not an opportunity to welcome the side marrying in. The utter lack of love was tactile in questions, in conversations about medical boards, hospital matching, annoying patients and nurses, lack of visits, lack of curiosity of meaningful conversations about well-being, my father's comments on my salary when I visited, how my sister Googled average salaries of her friends' professions, how my oldest girl cousin, the one who fitted me with the undershirt, lived in San Diego and wanted me, my sister, her husband to stay with them the whole time on their first visit out to Los Angeles, where I lived. How when her brother visited, they never thought to come up, yet expected me to spend the entire time there and train back the day of my work, how my work or time was never valued. I took red eyes. For 12 years, I came back to visit sometimes twice a year for weddings, for funerals. And it became, my inconvenience became, or maybe was from the beginning, something I better have done, like punishment for wanting to find where I belonged. The lack of support, the ongoing covertly abusive relationship with my sister sucked me back in. It dragged me back down like a vacuum to reenact the conditional trade of family rules, of worthiness, all the rules. The lack of questions, of curiosity, of knowledge of anything meaningful in my life helped them preserve that bubble of ignorance, but did nothing to make me want to return. I'd be sucked back into the bottom shelf of the tallest bookcase, a book of flourishing poems, left unread, unopened, unable to root in the middle of the void. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanish. Awesome. Love it. How can people follow and support you online if they're just seeing you for the first time?
You can follow me on Tanish Cantos on IG and tanishcantos.com. And yeah, thanks to everybody here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Man, everyone's getting in on these Monday nights. That's cool. Yeah, so we're gonna be here every Monday. Come on through. Love having you guys. Whenever you have stuff you want to share, we're here for you. All right. So I think our next performer that I had on the list took off. We couldn't stay too long. It's kind of later than we've stayed for a while, so that's also another thing. But I think we are ready to go to our closer. As someone who grew up playing baseball and did so in high school. Wait, what?
I'm gonna need.
You always need a minute, man. Even though you know you're last. Okay. All right. Well, it's 2024, and it's time for a little bit more of the Dan game. All right. A minute. Okay. So once again, if you guys haven't done so, check us out on social media, whatever you prefer. If you just type in Barbed Wire Open Mic, we'll show up. We usually use the acronym BWOMS, BWOMS. And again, if you want to sign up in future shows, probably the fastest way to get, this was New Year's Eve weekend, right? So I was kind of busy, didn't have a chance to put up the link till kind of late. Some of you guys are like quick with it though. You're like, where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. I'll usually get it by Sunday night. But you can follow us on our Instagram. We have a link in our bio. If you click on that, that's our link tree. If you have us on YouTube, if you go to our homepage, there's a bunch of links on the banner, including our link tree. And the reason why I'm pointing out the link tree is we have a lot of links in there, including our Google Calendar and our Facebook event page. So next couple of days, I'll be updating for January. We have a lot of stuff going on as always. But you can also, with Linktree, we have a pro subscription, which means you can subscribe. You can subscribe to with your email or with your phone, maybe both. I don't remember. And when you subscribe, every time we put a new link for the Monday night shows, as soon as it's available, I can send a notification to subscribers. So usually that's the best way to find that stuff. And of course, if you are on YouTube, something that really does help us a lot if you subscribe to our channel. In addition to the online shows, I'm just have mountains of content over the last couple of years that I'm slowly working my way through. That includes clips from live open mics, studio sessions, podcasts, and some other surprises along the way. Collaborations with other entities in town, including stuff with the college that I work with. You can find a lot of that stuff already, but there's a lot more. I know Beowulf came into town a little while back, and I have a lot of his stuff. I think he did like 3 shows. I recorded all his sets. We did a studio session. There's a lot of studio. Man, Urban Cowboy Poet. I have him on there. I have Sandy Shakes the Mic. So like, maybe I just need an intern to help me edit videos. It seems like, but whenever Dan is talking about like being behind, I know what he means. It's hard, because aside from work, I gotta have a social life. So I apologize. Sometimes I lose track of editing time, and that takes a while. But Dan, are you ready? I've been talking for more than a minute. I'd like to think so, hopefully. Again, Happy New Year's. Cheers. If you guys got, anything with you. I did not prepare anything to stall this time, so.
Time, Dan, anytime.
Yeah. We get together Voodoo Range. Nice look. It was blurry and everything too. Ooh. Yeah, I bought a little pack of these, all different versions of the Voodoo Ranger IPA. Voodoo Ranger, if you want to sponsor us. Okay. So, I want to thank everyone who has signed up and performed today, even those who couldn't stick around. I know it's hard. That was a little longer list. And that's it. Good night, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Next up, we have Dan the Man, our closer. What's up, man? Happy New Year.
I can't find my I can't find my poetry book, my rhyming dictionary book. I don't know where that is. Damn, I can't find it.
Oh no. Well, you know what, man? It's also in your head. It's in your mind. I know it. It's in your mind and your heart. Cool turtleneck. I thought it was a turtle. It's just a zip up. My bad.
Yeah, so no, I don't know what happened. Can't be. Yeah. Like, dang it, I have no idea what is going on. Yeah, so I would say it can't be too long.
BorderSenses.
I think your audio went out, Dan. Oh.
Yeah, what's wrong with the stupid audio?
No, it's good now. Well, every time I say it's good, it's not good after that. Nope.
The audio went looking for the rhyme book.
Oh, great. Oh, thank you, Thank you, Kingston. Yeah. Oh, no is right. Not going with the flow. But it's not like go. Just take it like a flow. Go with the flow. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think my video got, I don't know what happened. I think I accidentally deleted my video, but it wasn't supposed to, or it may have deleted by itself. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna have to re-upload it again. So hopefully it won't, just all I need to do is just reload it. Yeah, just try to fold it and then, yep, just keep it on the hold it. as I mentioned, I like last year when I said I'm gonna try the Child's Calendar up by John Updike one last time, but mission accomplished. I already did that 3 times in a year. So, well, nothing fear. It looks like that book's already done and already here. So, but it's the new year. So, what could possibly go near? But never fear, the new year is here, if you know what I mean. So, okay, well, yeah. Uh, keep in mind the video I uploaded is an update on my blog. So, yeah, so just let you guys know. So, okay, if it's officially uploaded, I'll DM you guys and pass it on if you please. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna need a lot of help with catching up, if you know what I mean. So I know last year, 2023, it's been a slow year for me. Now 2024, I got a lot of catching up to do. So yeah, so all I'm doing is focusing on you. Yep, it's always the new, and out with the old and in with the new. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I know my signature card. I know my card's been like old for the past 2 weeks, but it needs to be no, past 2 years. I'm sorry, it needs to be updated. Yeah, so Twitter's now X. So you can follow me on X. I'm only retweeting a couple of things and doing some Halloween shout outs. I'm sorry, some holiday shout outs. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, you can still follow me on Instagram, okay? Just yeah, I'll keep you guys posted, and once the video's uploaded, I'll keep you guys posted, okay? And I don't know what happened on the video. I do apologize. Can't believe how the hell that happened. All right, so yeah, and for those of you who have me on Facebook, follow me. Or yeah, and I do have a Twitter and a Snapchat, but I haven't used it in years, and it's wasting up my memory. So that I do apologize. But you can still watch my recent episodes on YouTube. So yeah, so keep posting on my social media pages. Yep, but it's not with the ages. It's only for the wages. Okay. Uh, uh, I'll email it to you, Kingston. Let me message you, Kingston. Or all right, yeah. So, oh, Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube, currently on hiatus at this time. So, my video will explain everything. So, okay, all right, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be at Rosewood tomorrow, but I'll keep you guys posted. So, but in the meantime, a new year is here. Never fear. So, yeah, it's not near, it's here. So, y'all have a safe and happy new year. Thank you very much. And thank you, Kingston. All right, guys. And, all right, if I don't see you tomorrow, Richie, I'll see you next Monday again. So, but, by the way, I was there last Friday at the Craftsman Brew. Yeah, so thank you, Kit, for including me, and also Fernie, and yeah, it was that same poetry I written a week ago. Yeah, with the wishing tree on Abram Street. The tree is a place to be, isn't that sweet? Okay, all right, guys. Yeah, have a safe. Enjoy the new year, the first week, and I'll see you guys next Monday. All right, guys. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right, cool. Thanks, Dan, for that closer. So thanks for everyone who tuned in, and if you guys have been watching, that's amazing. We've also had our highest viewership in quite some while, so I want to thank all you guys who stuck around. I'm gonna end with one last thing. I'm gonna try and do more engagement with you guys. So not in the live chat, but if you watch the whole show and if you're listening to me right now, leave a comment on our YouTube channel. I want to know, what is the latest that is socially acceptable to wish someone Happy New Year? Because I every now and then I'll like see someone like I hadn't seen like all month, like at the end of the month, we'll just naturally say Happy New Year, and I think about it, I was like, is that period gone? I don't know. So it's just a informal poll. What do you guys think? I'm curious to see what everyone says about that. So as always, we're gonna end the live stream, but many of us will hang out a little bit in the Zoom room after the after party. And again, if you guys want to join us next week, all you have to do is sign up. We will see you guys next time. Good night to all of you going to bed, and